Good morning. Today, I want to speak to you about something that will radically change the way you live your life. It's not about your plans, your strategy, or even your effort. It's about the very first thing you do when you open your eyes every morning. There is a power in beginning your day the right way. A power that sets the trajectory for every hour, every decision, and every encounter. Before you take a single step, before you check your phone, before you dive into your responsibilities, there is something I want you to understand. Your day needs God's alignment. You see, the world will try to steal your peace, derail your purpose, and exhaust your strength. But when you start your day with God, you invite His wisdom, His protection, and His favor to fight for you. Today, I want to reveal 3 essential things you must ask God for before you start your day. These are not just prayers. They are declarations that position you for victory. If you take this seriously and make it a habit, I promise you, your days will never be the same again. Let us prepare our hearts, open our minds, and ask God for what truly matters. Because how you start your day determines how your life unfolds. There is a power in starting your day with God that cannot be measured, a power that most people overlook because they underestimate the importance of the first few moments after waking. When you wake up and immediately reach for your phone, check notifications, or jump straight into the hustle of the day, you are allowing the world to dictate your pace and influence your mindset before God has had the opportunity to set it right. But when you begin your day in prayer, something supernatural happens. Your mind, your spirit, and your heart align with the will of God, and the rest of your day begins under divine influence rather than human chaos. Think about it. The early morning is a quiet season, a sacred window where distractions are minimal and your soul is fresh, eager, and receptive. This is the ideal moment to commune with God. When you pray first thing, you are in essence saying, Lord, I acknowledge you as the master of this day. I surrender my plans, my desires, and my expectations into your hands. That simple act sets a precedent for every decision, every conversation, and every challenge you will face. Prayer is not just a ritual. It is the key that unlocks divine direction and positions you to operate in favor rather than frustration. Many people live their lives reacting to circumstances because they start their days without seeking God's counsel. They face problems they could have avoided, stress they could have prevented, and conflicts they could have navigated with wisdom. But when you start your day with prayer, you are asking God to light your path, to open doors that are hidden, and to shut doors that could lead to unnecessary trouble. You are activating His supernatural presence to guide your thoughts, actions, and interactions. Your day becomes less about luck or chance and more about intentional divine orchestration. Prayer at the start of the day also cultivates a mindset of gratitude and humility. It reminds you that no matter how capable you are, there is a higher power orchestrating the events of your life. You begin your day with a heart of thankfulness, acknowledging past blessings while preparing for future ones. And when gratitude flows, fear and anxiety lose their grip. You approach your responsibilities with confidence, knowing that God's wisdom accompanies your steps and His peace guards your hearts. Furthermore, a prayerful start builds resilience. Life will test you. Challenges will come without warning. But when you have begun the day in communion with God, you have already positioned yourself to handle setbacks with grace. You have fortified your mind and spirit, equipping yourself with divine strength that cannot be replicated by human effort alone. You walk into your day not as someone who is passive or reactive, but as someone empowered, guided, and protected. In practical terms, this doesn't have to be complicated. A few moments of sincere prayer, a moment of meditation on God's word, or even a quiet declaration of dependence on Him can set the trajectory for your entire day. The key is consistency. Make it non-negotiable. Guard your mornings. Treat the time you spend with God at the start of the day as a sacred appointment that nothing else can replace. Remember this: how you begin your day determines how your day unfolds. A prayerful start is not just a habit, it is a life strategy. It positions you for clarity, protection, peace, and fruitfulness. If you embrace this practice, you will find that doors open that were once closed, burdens lift that were once heavy, and joy flows even in circumstances that used to feel overwhelming. The power of a prayerful start is real, tangible, and transformative. It is the secret to living each day in alignment with God's purpose for your life. There is a power in knowing why you are here, a power in understanding the purpose for which you were created. Many people live their lives wondering, reacting to circumstances, and moving from one day to the next without any real direction. They are busy but not productive. They are active but not effective. This happens because they fail to seek clarity from the one who designed their life. Before you start your day, it is essential to ask God for clarity of purpose. When you do, you are not just asking for guidance on what to do. You are asking for alignment with His plan, for divine insight into how your life should unfold, and for wisdom to prioritize what truly matters. Clarity of purpose begins in the mind and heart. Without it, your energy, time, and resources can be wasted on things that do not contribute to your destiny. You may work hard, but you may not move forward. You may pursue opportunities, but you may not advance. When you ask God for clarity, He illuminates the path before you. He reveals what is essential and what is trivial, what is urgent and what is important. Your day, your decisions, and your interactions begin to have focus, direction, and intentionality. You start moving with precision rather than aimlessly. And suddenly, what once seemed confusing becomes clear. When you ask God for clarity, you're also asking Him to remove distractions. Life is full of noise, people's opinions, societal pressures, and the lure of immediate gratification. These things can cloud your judgment and lead you off course. But when you begin your day by seeking God's insight, He helps you identify what belongs to your assignment and what does not. You learn to say no to what is irrelevant and yes to what is aligned with your purpose. Your priorities become God-centered rather than world-driven. And this transforms not only your day, but your destiny. Clarity of purpose also brings confidence. When you know why you are doing what you are doing, you do it with boldness and conviction. You no longer second guess your decisions or compare yourself to others. You walk with assurance because your steps are guided, your actions are directed, and your choices are purposeful. You understand that even challenges, setbacks, and delays have meaning in the larger picture of God's plan for your life. When clarity of purpose is present, you work smarter, not harder, because every effort is intentional, every move is strategic, and every interaction serves a higher goal. Furthermore, clarity of purpose fuels perseverance. Life will test you. Obstacles will rise. Doubts will emerge. And the temptation to give up will present itself. But when you begin your day by asking God to reveal your purpose, you anchor yourself in a vision that transcends temporary discomforts. You endure trials knowing that every step is part of a greater plan. You persevere because your eyes are fixed on the outcome that God has ordained, and nothing can shake you from that focus. Practically, clarity of purpose can be sought through prayer, reflection, and meditation on God's word. Ask Him to reveal the priorities for your day, the choices that will move you closer to your calling, and the attitudes you must cultivate to align with His plan. Write down insights, declare them over your life, and let them guide your actions. When clarity becomes the lens through which you view your day, your life, and your future, you stop drifting and start living intentionally. Remember this: without clarity of purpose, even your most diligent efforts can be wasted. With it, even small steps become powerful, significant, and fruitful. When you start your day asking God to clarify your path, you are not only asking for direction, you are positioning yourself to live a life of intentionality, impact, and fulfillment. The clarity you receive transforms confusion into confidence, hesitation into boldness, and routine into purpose-driven action. Let every day begin with this question. Lord, show me my priorities, guide my steps, and align my actions with your plan. When you do, you will find that the fog lifts, the path straightens, and your life begins to move with unstoppable momentum toward the destiny you were created to fulfill. Every day, you step into a world full of unseen forces, challenges, and temptations. There are threats to your mind, body, and spirit that you cannot always see, and there are situations that human effort alone cannot overcome. This is why before you start your day, it is essential to ask God for divine protection. Protection is not just about safety from physical harm. It is about covering over your thoughts, shielding your emotions, and guarding the decisions you make throughout the day. When you invite God's protection at the start of your day, you are essentially putting on spiritual armor that equips you to face every circumstance without fear. Divine protection begins with the acknowledgement of God's authority. The moment you wake and recognize Him as the master of your life, you are placing yourself under His care. It is a conscious declaration that nothing in this world can operate against you without His permission. This is not mere superstition. It is the practical application of faith. When your day is framed around God's protection, your spirit becomes alert, your mind becomes discerning, and your heart is strengthened. You start to perceive dangers before they appear, opportunities before they are obvious, and solutions before problems escalate. Consider the natural world. Just as the sun rises to illuminate the path and dispel darkness, God's protection acts as a spiritual light that exposes hidden traps, guards against deceit, and keeps you on the path of righteousness. Life is unpredictable, but protection is proactive. It shields you from accidents, prevents relational conflicts from escalating, and keeps you mentally and emotionally balanced. When you begin the day asking for in protection, you are not only safeguarding your present moment, but you are also preserving your future from unnecessary setbacks. Protection also covers your mind, which is often the battlefield for attacks. Thoughts of fear, doubt, anger, or despair can infiltrate your mind and derail your day before it even begins. Asking God for divine protection establishes a guard over your mind. It enables you to filter every thought, reject negativity, and embrace peace and clarity. Your decisions are no longer reactionary or clouded. They become intentional, guided by divine wisdom and discernment. Moreover, divine protection manifests in relationships and interactions. People may act with malice, environments may become hostile, and circumstances may seem overwhelming. But when you invite God's protection, He shields you from the harm that could come through others. Conflicts are diffused, opportunities are preserved, and blessings are unhindered by opposition. You begin to see doors closed that need to close and doors open that are meant to lead you toward your destiny. Practically, divine protection is activated through prayer, declaration, and faith-filled expectation. Speak words of protection over your life, over your family, and over your day. Declare that no weapon formed against you shall prosper, that every plan of the enemy shall fail, and that your steps are ordered by God. Be intentional in visualizing yourself covered by His shield as you walk into your day. This is not ritual. It is an act of faith that aligns the spiritual realm in your favor. Remember, protection is not passive. It requires the conscious choice to invite God into every aspect of your day. When you do, you experience peace amidst chaos, confidence amidst uncertainty, and boldness amidst opposition. Your life becomes untouchable, not because challenges vanish, but because the presence of God transforms every challenge into an opportunity for triumph. Before you start your day, never underestimate the power of asking for divine protection. It is the hedge around your life, the umbrella in your storm, and the shield against all that would hinder your progress. With it, you move through the world confidently, knowing that the unseen hand of God is guiding, guarding, and keeping you every step of the way. When protection becomes a priority, every day becomes a victory waiting to unfold. Every day brings its own set of challenges, burdens, and demands. There are tasks that feel too heavy, responsibilities that seem overwhelming, and moments when you feel your human strength is not enough. This is why before you start your day, it is vital to ask God for strength and grace. Strength is not just physical endurance. It is the power to overcome obstacles, resist temptation, and persevere through adversity. Grace, on the other hand, is the unmerited favor that allows you to navigate life's complexities with wisdom, dignity, and divine enablement. Together, strength and grace equip you to walk confidently into the day, no matter what lies ahead. Strength is often misunderstood as mere physical capability or the ability to push harder. True strength, however, comes from God. It is supernatural. It is the kind of strength that allows a person to face trials without despair, to remain steadfast in prayer when solutions are delayed, and to act with courage when fear would normally dominate. When you start your day by asking God for strength, you are acknowledging that your own abilities are limited and that divine empowerment is necessary to fulfill your purpose. This type of strength sustains you through long hours, difficult decisions, and unexpected setbacks. It fortifies your spirit, ensuring that no matter how heavy the load, you do not crumble. Grace, complement. Strength in a way that transforms every encounter and circumstance. While strength enables you to endure, grace enables you to excel without exhausting yourself. Grace makes your efforts fruitful, even in situations that seem impossible. It allows you to speak and act with wisdom when emotions run high. It creates favor where you cannot create it yourself. Grace softens hearts, opens doors, and turns obstacles into opportunities. By asking God for grace at the start of your day, you invite His presence to flow through you, ensuring that your work, relationships, and decisions are touched by the divine. Life will always test you, but strength and grace together form a shield against discouragement. When challenges arise, you are not left to struggle in vain. You are empowered to rise above them. When mistakes happen, you are not condemned. You are enabled to learn, adjust, and move forward without losing momentum. Strength carries you through difficulty, and grace ensures that your journey remains marked by favor and dignity. This combination allows you to face the day with confidence, knowing that you are equipped for both endurance and excellence. Moreover, strength and grace influence the way you interact with others. Strength allows you to stand firm in your convictions without being harsh, to lead without intimidation, and to serve without weariness. Grace allows you to show kindness, patience, and forgiveness even when provoked. When you ask God for these at the start of your day, you position yourself not only to survive your circumstances, but also to positively impact everyone around you. Your presence becomes a source of inspiration, encouragement, and peace. Practically, asking for strength and grace can be done in simple, intentional prayer. Speak to God about the specific challenges you anticipate today. Declare that He will supply the power you need to overcome each one. Invite His grace to operate in your words, actions, and decisions. Meditate on scriptures that remind you of His sustaining power and unmerited favor, allowing these truths to fill your heart with confidence. Remember, life's demands can drain anyone. Without strength, you falter. Without grace, even success becomes burdensome. But when you begin your day asking God for both, you position yourself to operate at your highest potential. Strength gives you the ability to persevere. Grace gives you the ability to prosper. Together, they ensure that you are not only ready to face the day, but to thrive in it. Make it a habit to seek these daily, and you will discover that no challenge is too great, no task too difficult, and no day too overwhelming for the one who equips you with strength and surrounds you with grace. In the midst of a world full of chaos, distractions, and pressures, peace of mind has become one of the rarest treasures a person can possess. Yet it is also one of the most essential foundations for a successful, purposeful, and fulfilling day. Before you start your day, asking God for peace of mind is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Without it, the mind becomes a battlefield, easily swayed by fear, doubt, worry, and anxiety. But when you invite God's peace at the very beginning of your day, you create a shield around your thoughts, emotions, and decisions, enabling you to navigate life with clarity, focus, and calm confidence. Peace of mind begins with surrender. It is the conscious act of handing over every concern, every fear, and every unresolved issue into God's hands. Too often, people wake up carrying the weight of yesterday's mistakes, today's worries, and tomorrow's uncertainties. This mental burden clouds judgment, disrupts focus, and drains energy. But when you pray for peace, you are essentially declaring that you trust God to manage your life, that His wisdom will guide your decisions, and that His presence will calm every storm before it even reaches you. This surrender is not passive. It is a powerful acknowledgement that the mind cannot operate optimally without divine alignment. Peace of mind is not the absence of challenges. Rather, it is the presence of God's assurance amidst challenges. Life will always present difficulties, unexpected circumstances, and pressures that test patience. But when you begin your day by asking for peace, you are equipping yourself to remain unshaken in the face of adversity. Your reactions become measured rather than impulsive. Your decisions become wise rather than hasty, and your spirit remains steady even when everything around you seems unstable. Peace acts as a stabilizer, keeping your heart and mind centered on what truly matters. Moreover, peace of mind enhances focus and productivity. When the mind is burdened with anxiety or worry, every task feels heavier, every decision more confusing, and every interaction more stressful. By seeking God's peace, you clear the mental clutter that distracts and exhausts. You gain the ability to prioritize effectively, think creatively, and act intentionally. Your day no longer becomes a series of reactive moments. It transforms into a purposeful journey guided by calm discernment and clarity of thought. Peace of mind also impacts relationships. A person at peace is patient, gentle, and understanding. When your mind is calm, you do not project stress onto others, nor do you respond impulsively in moments of conflict. By inviting God's peace into your day, you create an environment where harmony can flourish, conversations remain constructive, and influence becomes positive. This is why peace is not only an internal necessity, but also a tool that shapes the atmosphere around you, practically cultivating peace. E of mind starts with intentional prayer and reflection. Begin your day by acknowledging God's sovereignty, thanking Him for His protection, and asking Him to guard your thoughts and emotions. Speak affirmations of peace over your life. Declare that fear will not control you, anxiety will not dominate your decisions, and confusion will not cloud your mind. Meditate on scriptures that promise God's presence as a source of calm and assurance, allowing these truths to sink deeply into your consciousness. Remember, peace of mind is the foundation for every other blessing you seek. Strength without peace can lead to frustration. Success without peace can feel empty. Productivity without peace can become exhausting. But when you prioritize peace, every decision, every effort, and every interaction becomes infused with divine balance and clarity. Starting your day with this prayer ensures that your mind is protected, your heart is steady, and your spirit is calm, enabling you to face whatever comes with confidence and serenity. When you make it a habit to ask God for peace of mind each morning, you are not just preparing for a day, you are creating a life defined by calm assurance, thoughtful action, and unwavering focus. This is the power of starting your day with God's peace. It transforms ordinary mornings into extraordinary foundations for the rest of your life. Every person desires to be fruitful in life. We want our work to yield results, our relationships to prosper, and our efforts to produce impact. But fruitfulness is not automatic. It requires divine alignment. Before you start your day, asking God for fruitfulness and favor is essential, because these are the forces that turn your labor into lasting results and transform ordinary days into seasons of blessing. Fruitfulness without God's guidance can lead to exhaustion with no return, and effort without favor can bring rejection despite hard work. But when you begin your day seeking both, you invite supernatural increase and divine favor into every area of your life. Fruitfulness begins with purpose-driven action. Every task you undertake, every decision you make, and every interaction you engage in can either advance your destiny or distract you from it. By asking God to make your day fruitful, you are essentially requesting that your work aligns with His plan, that your efforts bear lasting results, and that what you plant today will grow into blessings tomorrow. Fruitfulness is not only measured by tangible outcomes, it is also seen in the influence you have on people, the impact of your words, and the legacy you build with your daily choices. When God makes your day fruitful, even small actions multiply beyond what you can imagine. Favor, on the other hand, is the supernatural advantage that positions you ahead of competition, opens doors that seem locked, and creates opportunities where none appear to exist. Favor is what allows your presence to be welcomed, your words to be remembered, and your efforts to be recognized. When you ask for favor, you are requesting that God's hand work on your behalf in ways that human effort alone cannot achieve. Favor is what transforms ordinary relationships into strategic connections, routine tasks into breakthroughs, and simple ideas into remarkable accomplishments. Together, fruitfulness and favor ensure that your day is not just busy, but significant. Too often, people equate activity with success. They fill their schedules with movement, but see little to show for it. Fruitfulness changes that perspective. It ensures that every hour spent produces returns, that every decision contributes to progress, and that your life advances according to divine purpose. Favor amplifies this, ensuring that doors open for you, that resources flow to you, and that people respond positively to your efforts. When you combine the two, you are positioned to experience both productivity and divine advantage simultaneously. Fruitfulness and favor are not limited to professional life. They extend into every area of existence. In your family, they bring harmony, understanding, and unity. In your finances, they bring provision and increase. In your spiritual life, they bring growth, influence, and deeper intimacy with God. By asking for them first thing in the morning, you are essentially dedicating your day to God, positioning yourself to receive blessings before challenges arrive, and ensuring that every action you take carries divine backing. Practically, activating fruitfulness and favor requires intentional prayer and expectation. Begin your day by declaring that your work will bear fruit, that your relationships will thrive, and that your presence will attract favor. Meditate on scriptures that promise God's blessings, multiplication, and provision, allowing your faith to rise in anticipation of tangible results. Visualize your day flowing with divine alignment, where every opportunity is seized and every challenge is turned into advantage. Remember, fruitfulness without favor can feel like labor without reward. Favor without fruitfulness can feel like luck without substance. But when God grants both, your life operates in a rhythm of supernatural productivity and divine advantage. Asking for these at the start of your day ensures that your time, effort, and energy are multiplied, that doors open where barriers exist, and that your day and ultimately your life reflect God's abundant blessing. When you make it a habit to ask for fruitfulness and favor each morning, you are not merely preparing for another day. You are positioning yourself for exponential increase, unearned blessings, and a life that makes a lasting impact. This is the secret to walking in God's abundance. A day guided by his hand, multiplied by his favor, and crowned with his fruitfulness. As we come to the close of this message, I want you to understand one simple truth. How you start your day determines how your life unfolds. The first moments after you wake up are not ordinary. They are sacred opportunities to invite God into your day. When you take the time to pray, to seek clarity of purpose, to ask for divine protection, strength, grace, peace, fruitfulness, and favor, you are not just preparing for today. You are setting a trajectory for your destiny. Every day presents challenges, uncertainties, and unseen battles. But when you start your day with God, you are no longer walking into the world alone. You are walking with the creator of the universe, the one who sees the beginning from the end, and the one whose plans for you are perfect. Your steps become ordered, your mind becomes clear, your heart becomes steadfast, and your spirit becomes resilient. What once would have overwhelmed you now becomes manageable. What once seemed impossible now becomes attainable. I want you to take this message seriously and make it a daily practice. Before you check your phone, before you rush to your responsibilities, before the noise of the world pulls you in every direction, take a moment to pray. Ask God for these three essential things: guidance for your day, protection over your life, and the favor and fruitfulness that only he can provide. Let your mornings be filled with intention, your afternoons with purpose, and your evenings with satisfaction. Remember, there is a power in beginnings. A prayerful start positions you for clarity, shields you from danger, strengthens you to face trials, fills you with peace, and ensures your efforts produce lasting results. It is a simple act, yet its impact is monumental. Make it non-negotiable. Guard your mornings. Dedicate the first moments of your day to God, and watch how the rest of your day and ultimately your life changes forever. As you leave today, I challenge you. Do not allow your day to start without God. Do not rely solely on your strength, your plans, or your understanding. Invite him first. Seek him earnestly. Expect him to move, and watch as he transforms ordinary mornings into extraordinary days, ordinary decisions into divine appointments, and ordinary lives into testimonies of his grace and favor. May your days be filled with clarity, protection, strength, peace, fruitfulness, and favor. And may the God who never fails guide you, guard you, and empower you in every step you take. Start your day with him, and everything else will fall into place. Amen.